All right, everybody, very excited to be joined by our boss and friend. It's Ben Shapiro. If you don't know who that is, you need to go get a computer or welcome to Planet Earth. Ben, I appreciate you taking the time. We all do, as usual, especially around this time, midterms coming up.
Yeah, the midterms are coming up. I think it'll be a good day for Republicans in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I would say it's a really kind of an Alabama versus Bishop Sycamore situation when it comes down to who's going to win that. I know you guys are going to be covering that like a warm blanket in the wintertime, but I do want to start. We're all baseball fans here, as you can see. Cone, first off.
Let's get this out of the way early.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Before we even get going, you go ahead with your review,
because
okay?
I don't want people to think I'm sitting here
Yeah.
interviewing Ben Shapiro in a New York Mets jersey because I'm a fan.
Right.
Okay,
You sure? Now you got to clarify.
I'm a man of my word. I'm making good on my bet. I lost to Ben Shapiro in fantasy football. Your half of the bet was you were going to come on here in a Cubs.
It's true.
In a Chicago Cubs jersey. And I wanted the world to see that. But unfortunately, Carson Wentz got 4 points for me at the quarterback position, 105 to 101, something like that. So here I sit. Here I sit in a New York Mets jersey.
You look good in those colors,
but at least it's the black jersey, and this is Jacob DeGrom, boys.
Yeah.
At least
Future Brave.
Hey,
Future Brave.
You're going to wear a jersey, wear a Stars jersey.
And Babe Ruth could not get a hit off Jacob DeGrom.
He could not get it.
Babe Ruth is going 290 off. 290.
We're not getting it. We're not. I'm not going down this road
so
again,
Russell
David.
Wilson of you.
You are so Russell Wilson lately, doing high knees for 4 hours on the plane ride back, scaring everybody out. But you do look pretty good in that jersey.
Yeah.
But we do have the World Series coming up. Not the one, guys, really that everybody picked. I know the Astros. It seems like they're in it every year. Got beat by the Braves last year, and look, they didn't do it by beating on trash cans this year or putting wires in their shirts and letting them know what pitch it is. So you got to give them credit. It's not proven, Blaine.
Well,
Okay,
this year? Are we
get the
100%
Yankee
on this
stuff
year
out of
yet?
you. 5 straight losses in the ALCS. We'll talk about it later. Okay. When you look at this matchup, the Phillies, to me, they've been a great story. Bryce Harper's actually coming through in the postseason. It's not some sort of just regular season thing where he goes out there and he does win the MVP and has a good year, but he's showing up when it matters the most. I feel like the Astros are going to win this series. My head tells me that. But the Phillies are hot right now, and the city of Philadelphia is hot. Hell, Blaine, the Flyers, are they still undefeated?
I think they have one loss.
Eagles are undefeated.
Eagles are undefeated. They may win the Super Bowl, but I just feel like the Phillies have the momentum, and baseball is such a momentum sport. Any sport where there's a postseason tournament, you want to be playing good late, like in NCAA basketball. Ben, when you look at this matchup, what kind of jumps out to you?
I mean, listen, the Astros have been good for several years. As you mentioned, they've been four of the last 6 World Series they've been in. They've been there before. This particular Phillies team has not been there before. It's a legacy maker for Harper, but that puts up a lot of pressure on Harper as well, obviously. And you could get a sort of Clayton Kershaw situation where in the early rounds of the playoffs, he's performing pretty well, and then he gets to the World Series and he kind of flames out. So I'll take the Astros in the series. I'll take the Astros in 5.
5. That's what you have.
Yep. That's what I said in the show the other day. That's where I'm leaning. You know, I look at this first matchup, Nola, who we love, Aaron, former LSU pitcher, guy that mixes speeds well. We talk about that fastball being able to have movement because against the Padres last time, fastball wasn't moving. It was flat. By the 3rd inning, they were sitting on it. Then he adjusted to the off speed. They were sitting on that. But you're going against a guy in Justin Verlander in Game 1. And I don't care where the game is played. You set the tone for the series in Game 1. And, Ben, I got to give you credit, man. You came on here during the NBA championship last year. I know the Celtics let you down. You called the Warriors. You called the Warriors. I think he called the exact amount of games. It did. So there's a little. I mean, look, you're coming back in here.
And why that's impressive is because they won it on the road then.
Yeah.
Because Game 6 was in Boston.
Yeah.
Which is what made that.
And which I like the Celtics, and you know, it just, you look at that Warriors core, they did it again. But again, that's neither here nor there. When I look at the pitching matchups, playoff baseball comes down to pitching and defense. We all know that, and you better enjoy the shift if you like it while it lasts. This is going to be the last time you see it. And I do want to say this as well. I don't think enough people have talked about this. I am so glad that Major League Baseball did not use the extra inning California rule for the playoffs.
Yes.
Because I cannot stand it.
It's absurd. It's always been an absurdity, but doing it for the playoffs would be absolutely.
We did it in travel ball. We stopped doing it in travel ball when I was 12.
We're going to do the mercy rule in baseball as well. I mean, like.
I mean, look. When is somebody's mom going to bring Capri Suns and orange slices during the 4th inning? You know, at some point, like when does that happen? But do you think Major League Baseball is kind of let down by this matchup with who you had in the playoffs? You could have had Yankees, Dodgers, could have had Yankees, Braves.
I mean, again, as we've discussed on the show before, the problem with baseball right now is that there are basically 2 or 3 maximum non-regional teams, meaning that actually have a national following where people from across the country will watch. Like if it were Yankees, Dodgers, you'd get a lot of people who are just going to watch because of that. You can say maybe the Cubs have a national following just because so many people watch them lose for so many years, but it's very few teams. Houston has no national following. The Phillies have a very strong regional following, but I don't think people on the West Coast are like staying up to watch the Phillies. Yeah. And mostly people watch the Phillies to find out how many cars are going to get burned in case the Phillies win. They're already greasing the polls over there.
Yeah, they're going to boost Santa Claus
again. Yeah, how many people get shot in Philadelphia?
That's exactly right.
But yeah, I mean, if you're MLB, you got to be really disappointed in how this whole thing shook out. And again, the playoffs. I'm not a big fan of these long playoffs.
I was going to ask you what you thought about the format.
I know that they love the long playoffs because more playoff games means more money, more broadcast money, more attendance. But it makes the regular season almost valueless because you just have too many teams in the playoffs. And so you have these mediocre teams. And then let's say you play hard all season. You finally, you win 110 games like the Dodgers do. And suddenly you end up matched up with some wild card team that's sneaked in with, 87 wins. I just don't love it. I don't love it. I mean, the fact is that when I was growing up, and baseball was always when I was growing up sport, right? When I was growing up, my dad talked the same way. When I was growing up, it was only a couple of rounds of baseball. When my dad was growing up, there was basically no rounds of playoff baseball, and that made the end of the regular season really exciting. Now there's no such thing as a pennant race. The hell's a pennant race? Nobody knows what a pennant race is anymore. So basically, it's like if you're one of the top 20 teams in baseball, you now have a shot at going to the playoffs, and that means that the regular season is too long. So if you're going to do that, you got to shorten the regular season.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just don't think there's any way 3 teams from the same division should be able to make the playoffs.
And that's what happens.
The Braves, the Mets, and the Phillies all from the NL East. But
so where's the pressure in that division? I mean, you're playing now down the wire at the end of the season. There's no pressure.
Yeah.
Right? You finish the top half of the division.
That's exactly
you're making the playoffs.
It's just, and that's why I was shocked, even though the Mets didn't win the division, how with DeGrom and Scherzer and Bassett and the aliens they have coming out of the bullpen with the Valenzuela's playing, that they weren't able to move on.
I mean, the Phillies do feel like last year's Braves team.
A little bit.
Kind of underdog. I don't mind more playoff teams, but I agree with your point. If you're going to do that, then shorten the regular season.
So let's go ahead. You want to go ahead and make our predictions? Let's go ahead and get out there before we move on to Russian prisoners?
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to say, give me the Astros. I'm going to agree with Ben. I like the Astros in this, just with Verlander, Framber Valdez. If he keeps throwing the way that he has, I like what they have coming out of the pen too. Presley's the best Presley since Elvis. Give me the Astros, but guys, you know what? Give me in 6.
Okay.
Give me in 6.
You
I think it goes one game.
I'll say
you in
5.
6.
All right.
Are you going to make me be the only one?
No, I'm going with the Phillies.
Okay, let's go Phillies.
Phillies in 6.
Okay.
Yes.
Phillies.
How many games?
6.
6.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll go Phillies in 7. Then we're all different.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Before we move on, I'd like to get my question on if that's okay with you two.
Yeah, go. Sure, go ahead.
I don't know if you heard about what happened with the Yankees earlier, but I'm a Yankees fan. I've been a Yankees fan my whole life. But,
You're a front runner.
Yeah,
right?
of course. Thank you. That doesn't hurt. Yeah, it does. So let's go. I'm going to ask you, but let me ask you this about Aaron Judge first. Broke the home run season record. It was awesome. I'd love to see it. Let's get in the postseason. He had 36 at bats. All right, he got 4 hits.
Yeah, not great.
And struck out 15 times. Not good. Do you think his contract's going to be big? Do you think he's going to be worth the money? Do you think he should stay with the Yankees?
I mean, he should stay with the Yankees because legacy is with the Yankees. Should the Yankees pay him out? I don't know. I mean, I think that players start to decline later in their careers, and he is in his 30s. I mean, he is not in his 20s, and in the post-steroid era, people actually still decline when they're 30s. So, he's going to get more money than he probably should. But also, so there's two perspectives. One is the baseball perspective, one's the marketing perspective. From a marketing perspective, they can't let Judge go.
Yeah.
He's a career Yankee. They got to sign him. There's just no doubt about it because he's the most popular Yankee since probably Don Mattingly.
Yeah.
Certainly since Derek Jeter, to be more fair. From a baseball perspective, is he worth the kind of money they're going to throw at him? I can't imagine that he will be.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Well, Ben, we appreciate it, my friend. I know you got a very, very busy. You're always busy, but with the midterms coming up, we appreciate you taking some time to watch talk a little World Series, a little bit of sports periphery going on as well, and it's always good to see you, my friend.
It's great to see you, and you look great in that Mets jersey.
You do, Dave.
Keep that and enjoy it.
We play again later.
I'm going to get him in a Cubs jersey. Hey, everybody, appreciate you guys checking us out. If it's your first time, welcome home, baby. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button. Turn on all those notifications by hitting that bell right there. Really appreciate y'all. And remember, without you guys, there is no us. Let's keep the woke out of sports and keep it in between the sidelines.